Welcome in, everybody, to the 16th episode of Mother's Jail. Tonight's session is titled The Calm Before. Last time, when we all got together for our obligatory beach episode, you all made your way back to Mother's Jail and specifically to Jet's Ambition, where you recapped everything you had experienced with Captain Allspeth, or Commander Allspeth, I should say. You got her up to speed on a lot of what had happened to you, and she needed some time to process all of that because you all went on quite a journey over the first, 10 sessions or so of this game. Well, the second 10 sessions. Anyway, so you were all given a few days of shore leave to relax and recover and catch up. And that led to a day at the beach where everyone was able to gather together and, do beach things trademark. There was a bonfire. There was a romantic confession, 2 of them, actually. There was a lot of cuteness, a lot of sweetness. But you still have a couple days left. However, at the end of the session, you all got to head on down to the docks where a new airship, although, of course, it was not in its airship form, it was currently docking as just a regular ship. A new ship called the Dark Side had just made port. And it, as it turns out, is the ship belonging to one's Yuki and Melisandre Sunvale. And, of course, their stalwart companion, Goatsifer. As they all disembarked, you learned a couple things, such as Herb, the pigeon, is actually Cadence, who has learned how to wild shape, but because she can't yet wild shape into something that can fly, she wild shapes into a chonky pigeon named Herb that can't fly. So, that's important.
Yeah.
And that's
shattering some dreams.
It's around where and Braylee's heart was utterly broken as she realized she now could not eat Herb. A pudgeon, if you will. Thank you, Dark Force.
Shattered.
She's devastated.
She is. I don't know how she's going to recover from this. Well, there is a goat now that you could probably...
Ghost sniffer, yeah.
Yeah, goat sniffer, yeah. Right.
I mean...
And lady,
yeah, that's
just
going to end well if you try to eat him.
Yeah, well,
You gonna start a holy war?
Another war.
Again.
So that's kind of where we're going to pick up is as this ship is just docked and you're getting to meet Yuki and Melisandre. It occurred to me that last time I really didn't describe the appearance of Yuki and Melisandre, and of course we might have some new people who really don't know them, but even if you do know them from Whispers and Silence, they are quite different than they were, because the Yuki and Melisandre that we saw in the future world that Scholar ruled is very different from how they actually turn out in this timeline. So, Yuki certainly looks very different than any Whispers would remember. Her blonde hair has been cut short and dyed electric blue, and she's now sporting a nose stud and 3 piercings along her left ear. No longer clad in the priestess robe she sported growing up, she wears a sleek, flowy dress made from black cloth, has a mace on her hip, and the holy symbol of Laki, the twin hands grasping the sword, tattooed on her visible shoulder. Melisandre has also changed quite a bit from the version of her that we saw in the future. She has long braided hair down her back and tied off with a blue bandana. She wears a dress that matches her beautiful hazel eyes and has a pistol in a holster strapped off a leather belt. Where Yuki has become more rebellious in her appearance, Melisandre is the picture of wholesome. And yes, Dolvik, Yuki went full-on punk rebel, and Melisandre has gone pretty much the opposite. So that is what you see as the two of them disembark with Kelsey close behind. And that's where we will pick things up tonight. So,
seems we have more guests.
Kelsey smiles and motions down for her wife to join as well. And of course, Cheyenne comes running down after, very excited. She comes running down. She's like, "Okay, where's the dragon people? I was promised dragon people." And she doesn't have to look far because you're in the port and they are everywhere. And she starts to bounce very excitedly. What's her name? LaSalle? LaSalle, yeah. She looks down and is like, "I really, really need you to not call them dragon people while you're here. I need you to work on that with me. Dragonborn? Dragonborn. That's what we're referring to these people as."
Dragon people.
She glares at you as if she has been having this discussion a lot lately.
Oh, I was being Cheyenne. Sorry.
Oh, you're being shy. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheyenne just makes a face and is like, yeah, Dragonborn, got it. Okay. And Kelsey nods to you all. Good to see you again. Sorry that we're a little bit late, but I was able to secure some help for the coming efforts. And Melisandre rolls her eyes. Yes, she called in a favor and said she would take her ship back if we didn't come. Kelsey's like, it's not inaccurate, but it's certainly not how I would say it happened.
Well, welcome to the team. Welcome to the Mortal Reminders.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
Yuki kind of cocks a smile. If it's a chance to see Auntie Melody again, I suppose we'll make the best of it.
Drinking behind Layla as best as he possibly can.
Uh-huh. Just, looks at you like... Ramiel, Melisandre was the blind one, but she can see again, too. So, Melisandre's like, I really need you to not bring that up every time we meet someone.
Ramiel, why do you hide when your friends are here?
It's because he doesn't like any of us.
My
It's
goodness.
not because of that. It's because of other particularly personal reasons.
No, he didn't come to any of my birthdays.
I think
You
that's
think
just
they
the thing
smell
people
really?
say when they don't actually have an excuse.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'll have you know, one of the main reasons that I shrink away from such encounters is because I'm frankly embarrassed of what is going to come out of my mouth, as is
No.
often the case when I open my mouth.
Yuki's just looking at you. Nope, I got excommunicated from the church, and all of a sudden he didn't want to hang out with me anymore.
Frankly, my darling,
Ramiel, that's the
I'm
exact
quite
reason you should
insulted
hang out
about
with
that.
someone.
She's just
If-
she has a shit-eating grin on her face.
It's quite good to see you, Yuki.
It's very good to see you too, Ramiel.
Right. So you look way, way, way different from the last time we met.
Oh.
How long is it?
Oh yeah, I guess it's been 10 years, something like that.
Roughly.
Yeah, well, I decided. Well, Mom decided that I should be more myself and not just do what the church wants me to do. So here we are. Melisandre just
Certainly a
nods
lovely
slowly.
Sentiment.
Yeah, Dad was thrilled. Anyway, so you are all the what do I call you?
Ramiel is taken to calling us the Mortal Reminders.
Nice. I dig it.
Mm-hmm.
Puts kind of the fear into the enemy, but also makes you sound kind of pompous. I'm into it.
It's dramatic. A bard will pick up on it, I'm sure.
Ah, I would imagine. Oh, if only Auntie
mean,
Melody was here, she'd have
It's
already written a
certainly
song
Oh,
about
God.
allowed to
so
land on a
even.
functional name.
it. Mm-hmm.
Look,
No,
the
I dig
pompous part's really just Ramiel.
You know
That
what?
is-
You know who says that? Pompous people.
Hurtful. I'm fabulous, not pompous.
You sure are. Oh, have we finally started talking about that?
The what?
Finally.
Is this why you were hiding, Ramram? This is.
Melisandre nods. We were never supposed to talk about Ramiel being,
Is she gonna do the limp wrist thing?
Well, I mean, honestly,
More
what
flaming
is
with a
there to
bonfire on the beach?
discuss?
Yeah, we were supposed to wait till he told us, but,
Oh.
Wait,
I'm not very good
realize
at
it was-
hiding, Ramram.
wait. What the fuck do you mean?
Remember, he's fabulous. Fabulous people can't hide.
he sure was.
You mean to fucking tell me that you all knew?
Shit, Yuki just looks at you. Everyone in a 5-mile radius knew.
Who else knew?
I think we knew within 5 minutes of meeting you.
Why do you think I acted the way I acted when I first met you?
Well, I presume that was more of your quirk or something. It was very
I just
it was
knew-
very early into the days of residing in Mother's Jail. I figured Mother's Jail residents just happened to be overly friendly in that manner.
Melisandre looks at you and is like, Ramiel, we first met when you were 8. Do you happen to remember the first thing you said to me?
Oh, this I must hear.
I believe your first words to me, if I recall, were being blind is no excuse for that dress and those shoes.
Goodness, Rame, you are rude.
Like, listen,
And
she
fabulous.
had an aura about her that I
Mhm.
needed her to express in the
Through
best way possible.
her clothes.
Yes, clothes
Mhm.
make quite the impression.
Mhm.
So anyway, we all knew.
It's our idea, and just sort of a hand on the shoulder. Nobody is judging you for it. You like what you like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just-
Kelsey's like, speaking of which, I hear this guy as a must-see.
Guy or guys?
Yuki looks over is like, slut!
I'm glad someone said it because I
Turns
wanted to
beet
say it, but
red
I didn't wanna be rude.
and goes, it is very complicated as far as that matter goes, okay? One discussion that I need to have very, very soon.
Oh, are we not mentioning how you tripped over your own feet into Orion's arms?
Oh my god.
Arcanans?
Yes, the roasting of the gay man continues to commence. Shall we
Spit roasting, more like it.
I'm
I'm sorry, that wasn't
Listen,
okay.
we were all thinking it.
Yeah, we were.
There are children present. Need I remind
Eventually.
people?
Holy shit! That was Aruna who said that in Nova's head, we're gonna say. That's what we're gonna say, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're gonna
Yeah,
say.
that was Aruna who said that in Nova's head. Because
And Nova gives
because
just
Cheyenne
the
is
loudest
present.
snort.
I constantly think of the Aruna quote, "It's busy up in there," in reference to Ramiel, because it's so true. It's
Oh
busy.
boy. We're off to a great start tonight.
All right. Anyway,
Every episode more unhinged than the last.
Yeah, that's
Nova's
true.
trying to hide her
May-
snort and just keeps waiting.
Nova, you okay? Do you need
Perfectly
to go?
Soon, yes. Anyway, shall we take your friends and find accommodations before I say things I regret?
Right. Commander Rain. Commander? Captain? Is it Captain?
Captain Rayner. Well, sorry, she
Commodore.
is now
She's now Commodore.
she is a Commodore now, yes.
Commodore.
Okay.
Oh shit, I was joking.
No, she is. She got promoted to Commodore and is the head diplomat here now.
Listen, this may be a fantasy game, but we're using real military terms, damn it!
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
We're not using
Uh,
them necessarily for what they actually mean, but yes.
No,
Come
I
on.
was just joking on it was another C title.
Commodore
also-
Rayner, what pray tell and he's going to pause and go, fuck it. Commodore Rayner, what else has my sister deigned to inform you of my of my personal life, huh?
She kind of just gives a sly grin. Oh, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't believe her. You don't have to make an insight check.
You haven't even brought out my brother yet.
That's true. Mark, right?
Well,
Uh,
Yeah.
Mark is more of a kindred spirit, if anything. He understands
You
my
could
my
have. You could have.
he.
With my brother.
Are you giving me consent?
Yuki,
Honestly, she
Really,
sounds-
are you
She
okay?
sounds upset that you didn't.
Yeah,
Really?
I can't.
really, are you disappointed he didn't?
No, it's not coming out that way.
Really, if anything, Mark is more of a kindred spirit, of a fellow sister in the in the
Mm.
in the circle of life.
That's
He
what I call
understands
Aruna,
my
but
need. He understands my my desire for keeping to an aesthetic and keeping it fabulous. Just because we're in a time of war doesn't mean that we can't be the best the best version of ourselves. Yes.
He's
You
only got
know-
room for 2 right now, but if one walks away, maybe Mark comes next in line.
Ramiel, dear, where I come from, there's a saying that you should stop digging before you bury yourself.
Do you have to
Unfortunate.
talk with Lele?
Wait, what? What?
I
She
think
can show you what to do with the banana.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. I
at that,
I
Kelsey and Lysel are both like, anyway, we're going to go find our room. And like they scoop up Cheyenne and walk off with her.
really there are some conversations that one we may not want to say in polite company.
or at least in
Oh,
the
it seems
company of-
important.
Yes,
It
when
is, but
you are
there's also the matter of the audience.
Oh,
Gesture at the child being escorted.
Oh, there's the child. I should have.
Goatsifer suddenly just goes, meh. And you see Melisandre look down. Yeah, probably. Meh.
wait,
Oh, what?
is that? And Ramiel just goes into full
Wait, did I
on like
understand what we said?
full bow like in front of Goatsifer.
Well, it's very good that you bowed in front of Goatsifer. Though, Brayley, yes, you do understand what I forgot. You guys speak with animals. You do know what Goatsifer is saying. Goatsifer is very concerned about the amount of time we've been off of the ship, and he has not been fed. He is concerned now that this place doesn't have any food like he was promised.
Mm.
Same concern.
It's a kindred spirit sort of thing, I feel like. Yeah. He has asked if he's allowed to eat the Shiny One's outfit, and she is telling him no. No, you cannot.
He finally got his uniform in more ways than one.
Mm-hmm. Melisandre gives you all an apologetic look. I have to go feed Goatsifer.
Oh, by all means, let us escort you to the fort.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
I need to go shopping, in fact, for some things. But if we all need to meet up with the Commodore at some point, I will be there. Unless someone wants to go shopping with me, but I'm just simply buying a shield. I do not have a shield, and I remembered I am trained with a shield, and I should just have a shield. So I figured I would buy a shield.
Darling, I think you're due for a new outfit.
You think so?
Ramiel has a wide smile. Yes. Did I not just say that just because we are in times of war doesn't mean that we can't be the best version of ourselves?
I mean, Go ahead.
Ayla's gonna lean over to Nova. When I trip him, run.
It's fine. Truth be told, I am still trying to figure out Aruna has been dressing me for the last several years. And,
Not nearly as scandalous. Oh, sorry. Not nearly as.
the red roses fall mainly on the plane.
Not nearly as scandalously as I would like, I might add.
Well, I still wanted some protection. Anyway, so...
You know it is good protection if no one wants to stab you anymore.
Yeah, thanks. Either way, I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I like. I realized that, well, I didn't exactly like what I was wearing way before all of this happened, but I'm still trying to figure out what parts are me and what parts are not, so...
Of course. Well, if you would like some help with that, I am more than happy to provide.
Perhaps if we have more time today, I want to make sure we have enough with the major things that we need, but, I will not be against shopping if other people are interested. Either way, I need a shield. My AC sucks.
Oh, did I not give you all music?
Oh, no, you have not.
Oh. My bad.
Silent.
Sorry.
The laughter has been the music.
I mean, that's fair. There you go. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's on the stream, but I didn't give it to the players.
Good shenanigans music.
Mhm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you are all going to take Melisandre and Yuki up to Fort Overlook.
Yes.
As you're all departing the docks, a voice speaks up from the gangway of a different ship. It says, Miss Brayley. And turning, you see a man in a military uniform descending off the ship. He is very handsome, and you do recognize Lord Kelsifer Arkwright.
Oh, hey.
He approaches and gives a very polite bow. It is so good to see you. I heard you had to leave town.
Oh, yeah. It was a whole thing.
I see. Perhaps
Yeah.
you would favor me with the story.
Okay, but can we do that like over food? I got some very disappointing
His
news
cheeks
tonight
turn a
that-
little shade of pink. It would be my honor.
Okay. Whoever has the best pheasant or chicken,
Well,
small tasty birds.
I've never been in this city before, but I'm sure we could ask
Do I
around.
just really know a place?
Yeah, make a
Probably
history
only the
check.
cracked scale.
No, she's been here for a bit. She might know.
History. Eh!
Oh yeah, it would probably help if I had the actual thing up so I can see.
It was a 2.
A 2? Okay.
It was a sad.
So have you ever seen Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah.
So you know how they always go to the Winchester?
Yes.
Yeah, you always go to the cracked scale, and you're like, cracked scale, probably. That's it. So he's like, and to him that makes as much sense as anything. So he nods, and he looks to the rest of you. It is very good to get to see you all again. I'm sorry we didn't get to talk too much last time.
So you were busy, we were busy, and
Always seems to be the way of things, doesn't it?
unfortunately so. All's fair and
Sometimes that's how the world goes.
all's fair and busy in love and war.
And Mrs. and Mrs. Sunvale, your reputations precede you, and he bows very politely. Yuki just kind of like waves a hand, and Melisandre rolls her eyes, and she bows her head politely back. Very nice to meet you. Of course, Lord Kelsifer Arkwright. I'm the youngest child of the oldest child of the Arkwright family in Mitra Scaleth. And she gives a polite smile and glances over at Yuki again. And she's like, Mitra Scaleth, Elvish City, probably your domain. And Yuki seems to shrug. She's like, I just want to go to bed. Okay.
Perhaps when we all will meet up later, I'm sure into the Commodore we can have better introductions.
Yes, sorry, Yuki didn't sleep a ton last night. It is very nice to meet you. We're going to go and find some food for the goat. And Calcifer just blinks like,
The
As
ghost
you would.
sniffer.
ghost sniffer.
Not gonna correct you. No.
Of
A
course.
special guest of a sort.
I see. Well, if you all... I mean, you're all welcome to join, of course, if you would like.
Oh, are we? I looked at Prayley. Is this...
Yeah.
Oh, all right. I give Calcifer a
Did Calcifer
pitying
want
nod.
it? Did he want it? Brayley is just not gonna.
Make an insight check.
Oblivious.
Yeah, make an insight check. You can still see if you can read him.
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you.
you.
Okay. Fuck. Shit.
Listen, Brayley's a little obtuse, shall we say. But I mean, he definitely got like a little flustered when you mentioned like going out to eat, and so but he was polite and offered, so he does not seem to bat an eye at anyone accepting. So he's like, very well then. Well, I'm not certain where the cracked scale is, so I shall have to enlist you all to be my guides.
I'm sure we can lead the way.
Excellent. Please do. So, as you all start heading in that direction, or who all's going, I should say.
I can go.
Or y'all dipping. You
Say,
all
Ayla's
were
probably
like,
just
we
gonna
get
go to
it.
the fort.
So, Ayla, you're going to go with Yuki and Melisandre.
I'll go eat first. I was gonna go buy a shield. I can do that later.
Very well. Layla?
Basically seeing if there are other people going, judging the thing, not wanting to third wheel if everybody else is like, yeah, we're
Yep.
gonna
Well-
let you go.
Nova has spoke up and has said she's going, so.
Yeah, I
Okay,
mean,
yeah,
I
then
I can
Layla
be
would
kicked.
go as
I can be
well.
kicked out too. Like that's okay. I thought we were all going.
Oh, Ramiel?
Ramia.
You might be muted.
Voices are quiet.
All right, well, we'll address that when they return.
Yeah.
So, Ayla, you start making your way back up towards the fort with Yuki and Melisandre in tow. Make a history check for me.
Oh no.
See what you know
Wait,
of these
shit,
two.
Am I? Actually, hold on a second. So, I get advantage about Fey Fiends or Undead because they fought against Scala.
No.
Damn it.
Because they didn't
Alright.
fight against Scala.
Oh shit, you're right.
You all prevented that.
12.
You know some tangential information. You know that Yuki is the adoptive daughter of, is the stepdaughter of Rialta, who was one of the Whispers in Silence. Melisandre, you now know as the younger sister of Kelsey. So, bits and pieces. So that means she was also the child of Carmen and General Varys, whom you just met. So
Never meet your heroes.
she is the adoptive daughter of them. So, yeah, those are some ties. You don't know a ton about them otherwise. They were not particularly important to the whole Scala incident. But one of them walks along. Just looking at her, you can tell one of them appears to be a ranger, and the other Probably a cleric. They have a holy symbol tattooed on them, but, you know, hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they seem pleasant enough as they walk alongside you, and one of them glances in your direction. Is specifically Yuki does. So, I mean, come on, you got to know what I'm going to ask about.
The wings?
Yeah, the wings.
What do you want to know?
I don't know. What's it like to fly?
The best way to put this. Well, okay. You were just. I'm assuming you flew on the airship.
Mm-hmm. That's how we get around from place to place.
It's like you can do that whenever you want. You can go anywhere you want with it.
That's
It's
fair.
in its purest form freedom.
I like that. Melisandre rolls her eyes like, you would. So how did you end up tied up in all of this? Are your parents dragonborn?
Tieflings from Stone's Throw, actually.
They both look at each other. Okay. Well, that's quite a ways from here.
I, ran away, started working at the mercenary, got caught up in the job, ended up signing up with the military, and one thing led to another, and yeah.
You ran away and ended up fighting in a war for people that aren't your own?
Well, I wanted the first boat off Terracin, and it was coming here.
That's rough. You like it?
Despite as much shit as I give Ramiel, yeah.
Yuki nods. Yeah. That's fair. I've enjoyed traveling too, so I get it. Melisandre's like, you do nothing but complain about it, but yeah, sure. Fair enough. They have clearly been a couple for a minute. But yeah, you all make your way on up towards Fort Overlook, where you are assured the goat will be given a good meal, and Melisandre has a very specific diet for it that it needs to be given. And the entire time the goat is going meh, and you assume that it is giving its order. So, is there anything else you wanted to ask the two of them?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, great.
So how long has it been?
Since what?
And he's just gonna point at the two of them. This?
Yuki's like, since we fucked? And Melisandre turns beet red, and Yuki is just, it doesn't seem to faze her at all.
No, since you two became an item.
Oh. Melisandre is like having a moment here where she's just like, oh my god. We've been together for pretty much as long as I can remember. We met right after the fall of Scala, and I don't know, we grew up together. We got married on my 18th birthday, and I don't know we've ever really spent a day apart since. Yuki nods. Yep. I mean, we spent a lot of time apart when we were kids because she was in the God's grasp and I was usually with mom and dad. But once we got married, yeah, we've been together since.
I do remember you two were practically inseparable when you would visit.
Yuki nods. Yeah, we were.
It's quite good to see that That's the one thing that has not changed about you two.
They kind of smile at each other. Yeah, well, as much as some things do change, some don't. Yuki nods. She's like, oh, I was so boring back then.
I don't know, the prim and proper priestess of Laki.
She laughs at that. Yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, your brother's influence.
Oh, Dad? Yeah, pretty much. And she does refer to Martine as her father.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it was fine for, a while. We grew up that way, and, Mom and Dad were supportive of that. But, well, over time, I started really not liking what I was supposed to preach, if that makes sense. I was supposed to talk about Laki, the person, and after all the stories that I heard, I didn't think that's what she would have really wanted me to preach, so I stopped. And the church got pretty mad at me with what I started preaching. So I told them to go fuck themselves, and they excommunicated me.
Language. And he's going to hold up a hand.
Go fuck yourself.
Is that really the message that you want me sending to Mum?
If Aunt Melody can't deal with me cursing, she's really not going to like the rest of me.
Fair enough. I do suppose she did give Aunt Caldana a pass. Though I think that was more her tallying how many times she owes her.
Yeah, she definitely never collected from Caldana.
Yeah. But, it's, I still preach, but my version of preaching and my version of what I think Lockie would care about, so, yeah.
Well, if anything, Mum would be quite proud of you, given how she is. I do believe her and Aunt Caldana are quite adamant in letting people know that about Laki, as she was the daughter of the Queen's Lament.
Yeah, I don't really talk about her as a person anymore. That's what I've actually stopped doing. I talk about what she stood for. She made a big sacrifice to help the world. She talked about standing united. She talked about things like putting aside our differences. She talked about looking towards tomorrow, preparing. And that's what I think she actually would care about. So that's what I preach. And Melisandre nods. And you preach very well. It's worth mentioning. And Yuki nods, where she's like, anyway, is there somewhere I can smoke before I go inside? And Melisandre shakes her head like, God damn it.
God.
And she takes a spot over to the side and lights up a pipe and starts to smoke. Melisandre just glances at you, Ramiel, and smiles. It really is great to see you again. She's going through some changes.
Oh, I understand. I mean, if anything, I think I'm quite qualified to say that I do understand. And he just kind of like holds up an arm.
She raises her eyebrows as she looks at the scaling.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
we've got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Are you? Did you glue them on?
No, they have been spreading.
Oh, you're growing them.
Not voluntarily so.
Well, that's how growing things usually works. Okay. Is that normal for elves? I don't think so.
No, just me and my sister.
Ah. Is your... You're not even a... No, you're not a Nadweir.
No, I'm a Feyborn, and he just like points to his eyes.
Whoa, wait. You said sister?
Yeah.
Honey, Cadence and... I don't know how to tell you this, but Cadence and Arya are already Dragonborn. They started
no.
with the scales.
No, right. Yeah, as it turns out, I may have come across my biological family,
Oh.
or at least the only living relative I have left.
Well, that was probably tough.
It was on both accounts.
I can't... She actually pulls you aside at that point, instead of going inside, and she kind of like... She finds a couple of barrels and sits on one next to you. She being an orphan herself.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine what it would be like for me if I found biological family.
Well, it was not a pretty meeting.
No, I wouldn't think so.
We both found out the other existed in a very short span of time, and she tried to have me arrested for sullying the name of a dead person.
Oh. Well, that's rough. But I get it. My parents blinded me and then tried to drown me. So, yeah.
And I'm glad that Mum found you.
Me too.
Praise be.
Praise be.
But regardless of whether or not I had living relatives or not, that does not change the fact that I consider myself pretty much still Melody and Tashira's son.
She nods. If my living biological relatives showed up, it wouldn't make me any less Carmen's daughter. Carmen's my mom. Nothing can change that.
Speaking of Carmen, she looks great.
You should tell her that. She'll get real mad.
Oh, if there was one thing that was drilled into my head, it was to not piss off the ladies of the Whispers in Silence. They are they're quite scary.
They certainly can be. And Mom... It's funny, I actually wanted to learn to fight like Mom does, and she wouldn't teach me.
Hence the pistol.
She said no daughter of hers was going to be a criminal, which I thought was a little hypocritical. But fortunately, Dad was willing to show me how to shoot. And, well, he taught me with a crossbow, but Big Sis said that was very crude, so she built me a
Crude
pistol.
and primitive.
Yes. So she built me a
That does
pistol.
sound like her.
Yeah. So, are you doing okay?
Hard to say.
Yeah.
I mean, certainly doing better now that I've cleared the air with someone. Or at least somewhat.
Right. Well, Romel, I gotta tell you, you've sound like you're keeping it together pretty well.
That's just because I'm quite good at it. At keeping up faces.
Dad used to tell stories about their adventure. When he would tell people who came and sought him out, he would always share the grand parts of the story, your triumphs and and their victories, you know. He talked about the night Melody became the Night Scald, and he talked about the defeat of Scala, and he talked about saving Falah from the corrupting influence of Sanguine Moon, and a handful of other stories that were always wonderful to hear. But when he would talk to me and Kelsey about it in private, those were never the stories he shared with us. He talked about their failures. He talked about their journey to the future and seeing how badly they'd fucked everything up. He talked about losing Onredo Suki and the burning of Moon Bay, and he talked about all the bad moments. And I hated that he would tell those stories, because those weren't the stories that I wanted to hear as a little girl. I wanted to hear the heroic stuff, you know? And it took a long time to realize that he was telling me the heroic stuff. Because that's what actually makes a hero. It's the people who can get through those tough moments, that look around and see that everything's falling apart, that they've screwed up, that they don't know what to do next or how they're going to get from A to B, and they keep going anyway. That's what makes a hero.
Ramiel actually smiles at that and goes, Mom used to tell me the same stories. She told me that one of the biggest reasons why she continues to serenade Mummy was because she saw both of them in lives when she wasted the opportunity to tell her how much she meant to her at that point. She didn't want Mummy to ever look that way again.
Do you ever wonder that maybe they're smarter than we give them credit for?
Who?
All of them.
Probably.
I don't know. Then I talk to Dad other times, and I'm just convinced that he's not.
Your father has moments.
Does he ever? She has a long stare in her eyes.
Mummy has the same long distance stare as well.
Yeah. She grew up with him.
He was fortunate enough to be like, yeah, we just kind of like heard the stories. Then we met him for like 15-20 minutes, and it's like, yep, that's 15-20 minutes too many.
Yeah. I grew up with him, except for the summers where I got to go travel with Yuki and the Sunvales, and those were great summers.
Well, I always fancied myself being the person to bring about the next age of the Whispers and Silence, the second coming of them, if you will. And there was a time when I'd be so discouraged, I wouldn't know what to do with myself. I felt like I was in over my head. I felt like the feats that they managed to accomplish were, well, they managed to accomplish it because they were champions of divinity. They were chosen because they had a purpose. And here I was being, well, and he gestures to all of himself. And quite frankly, I couldn't tell if half the time my companions would want to even stay around me, but that was one of the criteria that they had to meet. And fortunately or unfortunately, I found a group of lovely ladies who keep me humble.
She chuckles. Wow. I think it's great to aspire to be the whispers in silence, but I think the world would do much better if you were all just yourselves. And she hops up to her feet. Now, if I wait any longer, Goats of Fur will eat my clothes while I'm asleep. So, let's go. And that we're going to jump over to the other group.
So, Layla and Nova are gonna get their food and make sure that Brayley and Kelsfer are ahead of them. And then they're gonna be like, see ya, and go to a different table.
So you two indeed enter and go to the bar, get a drink and some food, and then go sit at a different table while Kelsifer and
We'll be right over there if y'all have any need of us. Have fun.
right, of course. Yes, thank
I
you.
give Brayley a thumbs up and a wink.
And he nods. You said you wanted a pheasant or any kind of small bird.
The plumpiest and tastiest small bird. Yeah.
Gotta
Got
have
it.
the thickest bird.
He walks over
Get
to
her a
the
turducken.
bartender and asks what's available, and eventually nods. Well, for me, I will take the stew. Sounds wonderful, and she will have your largest pheasant.
At least he's trying.
And he comes back over with that and 2 ales and sits down next to you. So, regale me. I can't wait to hear about your grand adventure.
Well, you may have noticed some differences.
I have, and I'm glad that you're starting there, because I thought it might be rude for me to start there.
Yeah. She's gonna like point at her choker and like, yeah, this like, I guess I'm like a god, reincarnated. And there's just some things that are happening.
Well, I will say that if my father was concerned that I was, not marrying nobility, I suppose marrying divinity would probably be good. A god,
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that at all?
Oh dear, she's gonna overwhelm him.
I know, but he needs to get used to this if this is ever going to work out.
I mean, that is fair. Start with the biggest hurdle.
It's true.
it's like the 2 Muppet old men. They're like up in the theater.
Yes,
like,
Nova and Layla are Statler and Waldorf.
Well, we went to Mitra Glorianda, right? That's how I said it, right?
Uh-huh. Yep, Mitra Glorianda.
And we crash landed,
Oh dear.
and then a lot of people died. There was a lot of blood and fire. Someone got taken by devils. We fought devils, and then someone got taken by devils, and then we chased after them. I transformed into a bear. Nova rode me, and we all just we ran to rescue Kelsey, and then we rescued her, but we almost died. But her dad showed up, with the hot lady. I forgot her name, and he was like, "Oh, you're like Fauna." Reincarnated necklace, and I got this necklace, and then shit started going down, and then we made it to what was the city?
Mitra Primus.
Mitra Primus.
And then we made it to Mitra Primus, and there were bodies everywhere, and then the thermal lady, she didn't make it. You don't know who that is, but we know who that is.
Okay.
And there was blood. And then Ramiel's family drama. Ramiel's like a prince. So that's cool.
An elvish prince?
Yeah.
Didn't even know the elves had a royalty like that. Okay.
Layla looks
Well-
at Nova looks at Layla and it's just like, I think next time she's going to explain all missions to the Commodore.
Just jaw open. She's a fire hose.
I love this for her. Sorry, continue.
God.
Sorry.
And then we met the what's her
Prioress.
the prioress. We met the prioress, hot, and then was like, we gotta go back, and then like we came back.
By the way, it's good to know that Braley is into Ramiel's sister and Ramiel is into your brother. So that's
like
perfect.
I like the fact that she's like, okay, so I'm going on my first date with my technically fiance, and I'm recounting all of my events, and I'm telling how attracted I am to all of these ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we went to the beach. And then I had a really crazy dream. I don't know if I should talk to you about it because it was just a dream. But we never really like we're engaged, but I don't know how engaged we are.
I'm certain if it was just a dream, it was fine.
Okay then. We're good then. And we beached, and then we got here and we did that. And yeah. A lot went down, and then Nova, I don't even know if we want to touch that yet. But that's a whole thing.
It sounds like
There's a
you
whole
want to touch
thing.
that.
Is that Kelsifer saying that? Or is that...
No, yeah,
my.
Kelsifer said that. He's trying to catch up.
All right. Well, Nova's face is on the table. She was not expecting that one.
How did I...
Layla has dropped the glass she was holding.
Maybe we shouldn't have left.
He is clearly processing a lot.
Yeah, so we went
Can I
on-
ask
there was-
some clarifying questions?
Hold on. Braylee's gonna drink some beer and then eat some of her
About this
food
time,
while it's hot.
the food is brought over. So yes, you now have he has
Okay,
stew in front
good.
of him, and you have your a very large, well-prepared pheasant in front of you with a big helping of mashed potatoes and some vegetables. Vegetables aren't important to you, so I'm not going to describe them.
Yeah. She just diving into chicken. Wow. And I really like meat now, by the way. Like, I love mushrooms, but they just don't do it for me the way that the meat does.
I mean, you're a surprisingly growing lady, so I'm sure protein is very necessary.
That was a poor choice of words.
He's trying his best. Listen, I don't know what I would do in this situation.
Can I ask a couple of clarifying questions?
Yeah.
Okay, you said you fought devils. Do you mean demons?
They were devilish. They were devils. They were devils, right?
They were. Oh yeah, they were. You fought devils, but
But
those don't really
that's a-
exist down here.
In
On that's
universe, that is a new thing.
those don't
Moon's
exist to most
haunted.
people.
Also, Moon's haunted. I love that.
Moon's haunted. Okay.
Thanks.
So your really hot friend died.
I mean, to be honest, they're all hot.
Okay. Well, you called this one thermal, so I assume very.
Oh, well, I didn't really get to meet her. Really, I mean, it was very short.
Oh,
She was like, there was it was a whole interesting thing going on. She had her own thing. She didn't really speak the way other people spoke.
Right. And you said Fauna? You said you're the reincarnation of Fauna? Like the goddess of nature, Fauna?
Yeah, can you tell?
Yeah. Now that you say it, it is shining through a little bit, actually. Okay. He seems to think about it for a long. Takes a bite of his stew as he's thinking about what words to say here.
I mean, for
and
all that, he does seem to be handling it quite well.
He's probably freaking out.
well,
So what
um,
the fuck?
well, I suppose I did believe that your beauty was divine the first time I saw you, so I suppose it's not that hard to believe.
Okay, he picking up again.
Oh, that is a good
It's
line.
a good line. Oh, he's thinking clearly now.
I am happy that you made it back safely. It sounds like it was quite the harrowing adventure.
Yeah, I almost died. Multiple times. I feel like it was multiple times, but
I feel
maybe
like
just twice.
my adventure over here is so mundane by comparison. Well, I have officially resigned my commission aboard Shagrash's ship.
Oh, you
And-
did?
I have, yes. I'm joining up with the Children of the Deep.
Oh,
Yes.
you're gonna join us?
Yes, I have decided to join you. Something did not sit right about my fiance going to war and me not being there. Admittedly, when I made that decision, I didn't realize she was a goddess. Well, I mean, I knew you were, but not literally.
Reincarnated, so
Sure.
like not like a goddess now.
Right, but you were a
What?
goddess. Right, yes. Okay. Okay.
Go up and see if she's handling it.
You want to make an insight, see how he's doing?
Oh, really?
Oh,
Thinks he's
Uh,
doing.
yeah.
Yeah, we're dying over here.
This has been a lot for him,
It's- Yeah.
but he's holding together.
He is.
I
I mean,
would say
they've only
he's-
seen
he's
each other,
getting
like,
a
3
solid
times.
grade from us.
I So when you say you need to eat meat now, that's in the literal sense. You need to.
Yeah.
Fair. Okay. And you have abs. That's for certain.
I do?
I
There-
mean,
Oh,
Yeah, you
there
do.
was like nothing there before.
Excuse me.
I agree.
What
it's a good look on you.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it.
I
No one else has really said anything. Or maybe
now
they
that
have.
I think
I
about
just
it,
didn't notice.
might not have been appropriate to bring up, and I apologize.
Is Calcifer a bottom?
For you, he might be. for those abs, maybe.
You learn a lot about himself today.
He learned a lot about a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of his views of the world have changed in the last minute. Well, this has been a lot. If I'm honest, I think most people I would call a liar, but I'm not certain what reason you would have to lie to me about any of this. And, well, if you are trying to lie, the look is incredible. So it's tough to pull off. That'd be.
Oh,
I don't think it's just an illusion spell.
no. I usually don't go out of my way, you know.
And why would you? He kind of just shyly starts to eat his food. He is, you've never seen him at a loss for words, but he definitely is right now.
Really. She is getting men under her heel. Never thought I'd see the day.
anything like this, but
And yet here we are.
And here we are. I am still trying to figure out how to do an in-between French accent, so please do not mind me. But yeah, once things are kind of calmer there, Nova's just gonna shake their head towards Layla. Well then, when all of this went down, I don't think you and I had much of an opportunity to really speak. I am sorry for my deception and what it has caused. But I appreciate that you have been willing to still take me in.
of course, it's difficult to wrap my head around, but if everybody else is on board, I shan't be the one to rock the boat.
Well, if you excuse me, if you have concerns or questions, I will do what I can to answer them, and anything else I will just have to prove with my actions.
Indeed. No, that's... well... she's gotta look like she's struggling. Because I'm also sort of struggling a little.
Oh, it's okay. I don't have a
But in a
plan.
different way.
Oh, okay.
Well... What, basically, what happened to change your mind on it?
On betraying you all?
Yes. That you decided not to. That would probably be the best way for me to understand your perspective.
Of course. When I first started this, you have to understand that this war has never been about who was right and wrong, just simply who wanted to fight and who didn't.
It's a little different from my perspective.
It is, and I understand that, but, well, growing up, my family was killed because they believed that the place that my mother worked at was housing some other group not on their side. I don't know who, I don't know which names, but that's all it's ever been to me, is just people fighting and killing and innocents getting in the way. So when I came to the Children of the Deep, it was just simply because I had the Draconic Legion had something I needed, or thought I needed at the time, and that was who they put me up against. When I first started out, I didn't have a stake in any of this. And truth be told, I still don't fully know exactly who was in the right or wrong. What I do know is that, one, all of you were, I suppose myself included, called into something greater. And number two, I don't know if I really care who lives, who dies, and who rules this place, but I care about all of you. And at the end of the day, in life, what does it matter if you don't have people you care about? Even when I thought I had no soul, I started to understand that. And so, there was a moment where I thought everything was lost for me and that I had nothing left. And so, in that moment, I decided to try to do at least one good thing. I did not expect to survive my confession to all of you.
Oh, jeez. Right as I went to talk, I had to cough.
Of course, every time.
Fantastic. Well, I thank you for your honesty. This being my sort of ancestral homeland and everything, obviously I have something of a vested interest in it and a different perspective on the right and wrong of it, as you say. But I can understand how it is for you.
What is your goal? What do you hope to see within your lifetime of service here?
Peace. And and the leader of the Draconic Legion brought to justice for what they have done wrong to the rest of us.
What are you willing to do for that peace?
Well, for right now, I'm just doing my part, same as all of y'all. But when the time comes, I want to say I would do anything, but I feel like everybody says that. And we won't know until it's put to the test.
That is true.
Speaking honestly.
No, that is the honest truth, I think. That's the thing. War, I think, brings out... well, no, it's not just war. That's not right. When something matters to you,
Yeah.
that will be tested every day.
Well, it's easy to sit here in the abstract and say I would do anything until I'm actually required to make a difficult choice. And in that moment, now that's when we find out who we really are, isn't it?
And what we prioritize.
I am afraid of that, but if it'll happen, it'll happen.
I will not begrudge you whatever answers you have to make for this war. Just... all we can do is do what we think is right, I think, at the end of the day. And try not to be cowardly in that choice. Something I'm still learning to do better at.
Well, I've dedicated my whole life in one way or now in a slightly different way towards peace and helping others.
You...
Not bringing harm.
You certainly put a lot of yourself in the service of others. Are you making sure that that is being returned back to you?
I feel like it is. It may sound trite, but at the end of the day, it is its own reward to know that somebody is still alive because of you. And month after month, that grows. I've materially, with the lives I've saved, and even those that weren't in danger but that I've improved by healing them, I have materially changed the world. In a small way each time, but it adds up.
That is true. But just remember that as much as you put out into the world and care for the world and care for others, there are going to be times when you will need to be carried as well. And there is no shame in that.
Now you sound like my parents.
I sound like my own mother, trust me. Or at least trying to
No.
learn from my mother.
There's also something of the hope that, as they say, what goes around comes around, that all of the good I put out will be revisited to me in time. But of course, I don't bet on that.
Good karma is a wonderful thing, but You also deserve to be with people who aren't going to wait to lend you a hand when you need one.
I would say right now, as you said, I'm with a group that does want the best for me.
Good. Just don't overwork yourself, please. Be lazy every once in a while. It's fun.
Back over at the other table, having had a moment to process all that, he looks up from his stew. Brayley, how is it going with the pheasant here? How are we doing on the demolishing of this meal?
Oh, it's like almost gone.
Are we talking? Is it just bones left behind? Okay.
Yep.
You have a strange desire to gnaw on some of those bones. You don't know why. You've never wanted to do that before, but there is just a piece of you that's like, I'll bet you there's marrow in there. You don't have to though. It's just like it's not like a overpowering desire. There's just like a weird instinct there that you've never experienced before, but it suddenly is there. But as you two are now kind of just eating quietly, he finally looks up. There is a reason I wanted to talk to you. And probably should have opened with it, but I got a little bit lost in, well, that.
Yeah.
The
abs, yeah.
he laughs genuinely. That too. I wanted to let you know that I've already spoken with my mother, and I'm calling off our engagement.
Oh, you are?
Drop fork.
Yes.
Yeah, Nova's like, oh shit.
It is not appropriate to put on a show for our families, nor appropriate to expect you to marry me because our parents decided that makes sense. So, I have called off our engagement, and I would like to ask permission to court you properly.
Oh my.
Shit.
Fan herself a little.
Oh,
Cough, cough.
okay.
Does she know what that means?
Is that okay?
What? Yeah, what does that mean?
He just looks for a moment.
Nova's gonna sneak him by and is gonna lean up to Brayley's ear. He wants to, like, actually get to know you and see if the two of you would hit it off and then marry for real. And she's gonna walk back.
Are you trying to do this without him recognizing what you're doing?
Oh no, it's obvious.
Okay.
I just am quiet about it because I'm whispering in her ear.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yes,
not.
what she said.
Oh, so he definitely heard. Okay. Oh. Okay, no one's really ever asked.
I find that unlikely and tragic if true.
You know, I was just always so into my mushrooms. There was really never, maybe someone did. I just didn't notice before.
Oh boy, she's not giving him an answer.
Fair. So is that a yes or?
Yeah, why not?
He looks
I
very
mean, yeah.
relieved. Well, excellent. I hope you will understand that it has been some time since I have done this, and that
Are we doing dream stuff?
no, I'd very much like to do things in the real world.
Oh, okay. I'll let you lead.
Okay.
Like you
Ask the
help me,
kitchen
help
for a
us
banana.
navigate.
I will take the lead.
Oh boy.
He stands up and takes your hand and kisses the back of your palm. Perhaps we will start with something simple. We just ate, so no sense there, but maybe tonight we could go for a walk.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Excellent. Perhaps you could show me where there's are some decent mushrooms here.
Oh yeah,
Ever
definitely. We
since-
can get into that.
I confess that since you mentioned it last time, I've begun to try cooking with them, and it's quite good, actually.
They are delicious, especially the special ones.
I will have to see what you mean.
We'll find them later.
Okay. Oh, thank you, Miss Brayley. As I say, it has been some time, and I know that part of me is still recovering from a loss. But I know more than anything that if I were to pass up on approaching a wonderful woman, she would kick my ass to a legendary degree. So I'm... the hell with it. I'm going to go for it.
Okay, yeah.
He nods politely. Well then, I will see you this evening. Perhaps after dinner.
Do we need to dress up? Is this a dress up situation?
I would dress comfortably for walking outside.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
I mean, you tell me. I haven't gone hunting for mushrooms before. What should I wear?
Oh, definitely pants you don't mind getting dirty.
I'll have to buy a pair, but okay. Certainly. Well then, I will see you tonight.
Yeah.
And he departs.
All right. Well, Noah's going over, and now Layla's joining. So, that went well, I think. How are you feeling?
From my perspective, that went exceptionally well.
Oh. You don't like, so Nova, you know what Aruna and I did? That doesn't happen like on the first date, does it? That's like a...
Not, depends on the person and their preferences.
It does on my first dates.
Yes, Aruna, you're a slut.
Yes, I am.
Love you too. But I mean, usually not. He is probably not going to ask for it on a first date. Now, I will say a war is coming, so that might expedite the process a little bit. But I
I
mean,
was thinking about that.
yes. But
He is a gentleman. He will allow her to signal when she is ready.
yes. Likely you will have to make the first move of wanting to do something of that nature.
Okay. Oh God.
How are you feeling about him?
Yes, we've given our opinions on it, but how do you feel?
Well, he seems really nice, and then he broke off our sham engagement to like actually date, so that was pretty like dope, especially of a family like his.
Yes. That is true.
That's a good point. What he did is a big deal. His family is probably not very happy with him right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a man of honor. He wants to do things properly, and he is interested in you, fangs and all.
Yeah, personally, I find that quite impressive.
You get the
Me
sense he might
too.
be more into you now. I don't think the fangs were a concern. I think he was like, oh, well, all right then.
Oh, he okay.
Now he's definitely learned something new about himself.
I, as a player, was like, I was like, I don't think that might not go down well, but shit.
This is one of Callie's games.
Yeah.
She'll make it work.
Yeah, he's,
It'll everything. The wolfier, the better.
he definitely like saw that was like score.
He's up. All right.
Oh, so this is what everybody was talking about with those pictures.
Yeah.
Well, good.
Where's that fucking drop from LPR days?
Which one?
I also discovered that I'm a furry.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. From Joey.
Oh no.
That
So good.
fucking drop.
That sounds infinitely relevant.
I also discovered I'm a furry.
Oh, what do you guys think? Is this like a should I go on this? Should I do this?
I mean, do you like him?
He seems really nice, and then he's pretty enthusiastic about mushrooms.
He's enthusiastic about you, dear. Are you enthusiastic about him? Are you interested in seeing if you are enthusiastic about him?
He seems really nice. I mean, there's a gotta at least give him a shot, like a real shot, not a fake shot like the fake engagement.
There's nothing wrong with giving him a shot, but it's also important that you do things that you want because you're interested in it, not to just go with the flow.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
And if he sucks in bed, you can always tell him to fuck off.
Aruna says if he sucks in bed, you can tell him to fuck off. I would do it nicer, but the point still stands.
Okay.
And
Which-
I'll be honest with him about how you're feeling about it.
That is all anyone can ask. Before you go on this date, if we have a moment just to check in on things, no offense to Layla, sorry, that would also be good so that you have a clearer head. But I just want to check in after the conversation from the other night.
Okay.
But we can do that when you are ready. But either way, a date night mushroom foraging certainly is not a bad first date.
Especially if that is a euphemism.
Yes, Aruna. Sorry. She's very common. She has a lot of commentary.
What did she say?
She says that the mushroom foraging should be a euphemism. Aruna likes to hear about sex, alright? That's what she wants to hear about.
Oh.
I
She is-
exist in your mind now. You know you're going to hear from me.
I'm alright, Aruna. Anyway. Goodness, she will not stop talking about it. I don't know what she thinks the kind of person I am, but... I'm joking!
It's the kind of person that we are now, I mean.
I know. I can't even stop speaking the accent you gave me. I tried. I
Is
can't
this
even
a-
stop it. It's not how I talk anymore.
This is my bad.
Ugh. You have formed my mouth in such a way. You know what? I'm not even going to go there. You're going to turn into another euphemism.
You can feel the disappointment that you didn't finish that sentence.
What have you done to my mouth?
Oh my god.
But you gave us quite a show. Layla was at the edge of her seat.
That was quite a roller coaster.
What's a roller coaster? I'm
Fair
teasing.
enough.
I'm teasing you. I'm sorry. I just like
It's
to
a
make.
foreign expression.
Oh, all right.
Oh,
Do they
it's
have-
something that you have in Rest Heart, you
I was
know?
about to say it must be in a
The
restaurant.
Rest Heart thing, yeah.
Yeah, the halflings are big on amusement parks.
Exactly. I mean, you could make it out of wood in physics. It still would be a roller coaster.
I would say
My grandparents actually did in like the woods that they owned.
they made a roller coaster. You know what?
You know
I'm
what?
gonna
You
say
know
that the Clockwork Village has an amusement park with a roller coaster in it.
They have an official one. I still think Hearthhome with those halflings figured out something.
Could be.
They're smaller. They don't need to worry so much about the weight.
I was gonna say it was just 2 tracks of wood and it was not safe at all. But it
No.
existed.
Hey, they're halflings. They don't care about that.
So, you are able to go shopping and get a shield.
I got a shield,
So you may add a
guys.
shield to your inventory.
Yes.
Now you are a proper hexblade.
Finally. How much is it?
I think 25 gold.
Okay, cool.
Sounds right.
Uh,
so you get a shield, and if you want to decide what it looks like, you're more than welcome to. And unlike other editions of D&D, there's just shield. So it can be a buckler or a heater or a kite shield or a tower shield. What do you think it is?
I mean, I think it's a small one of those round ones.
Like a buckler on the
Yeah, I
yeah.
think it's just a buckler, and it's like leathers and black. I don't know if she's gonna put any kind of an official symbol on it, unless the Children of Deep have their own symbol. But I think in general, it's just gonna be kind of a.
You say that,
Yeah.
but the moment you strap it to your arm, it bursts into flame for just a second, into this like purple fire, and when the fire disappears, there is a purple rose etched into it.
Well, that's fancy. When was I able to get into leather crafting arena?
I thought that it would go better with your sword.
Why, thank you. You're very thoughtful that way. I suppose roses are our thing as well.
Aesthetics are important, dear.
I'm trying. I am trying. I still don't fully. Well, there's a lot of things I still don't know, but I'm going to have to figure them out eventually. But yes, roses seem fitting. Roses of all sorts of colors. Especially the red, purple, and black variety. It sounds edgy.
But you all make your way back to the place at night. Ayla, did you have anything that you want to do when you got back since you were the first?
Not that I can think of.
So you all make it back and spend the day. Yuki and Melisandre and the Commodore and her wife and child are all set up with housing in the city. Specifically, Commodore Raynor and her family are given a home in the just ambition. What's it called? In the Embassy District, because they are official ambassadors from Mitra Glorianda, which is very interesting because when they get there, they are told that there's no such thing as Mitra Glorianda, and they're like, disagree. And they indeed are eventually given a house there where they will be living.
Lived experience.
Tell that to literally where I'm from. Yuki and Melisandre, meanwhile, are given a temporary room in Fort Overlook since they'll be traveling with the group in the invasion, so they're just being temporarily lodged there. But yeah, you guys are able to spend the day. That evening, you all have dinner together, and it's not just the lot of you, but, well, there's a lot of people at this meal, actually.
A lot of you.
Yeah, Commander Alspeth is there, as is the Second Chances, Orion, Asuka, and Rain. They are there. Melisandre and Yuki are sitting with Kelsey. They are there as well. So it's quite the group that has arrived. Tashira and Cadence are also there with Arya. So yeah, it's a pretty sizable. It's like basically you're in the large mess hall of Fort Overlook, and you guys have all just commandeered like 3 tables next to each other to all be able to sit and eat together. So
Romuald is going to take Orion by the hand.
Yes.
Come with me.
Okay.
And he's going to lead him to Tashira and Cadence.
Oh dear. Okay. Jesus, Brayley.
Brayley! Not in front of the family!
Also at this table, you notice is Cheyenne, who is sitting next to Cadence.
Aw.
At the table.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, he walks over with you, and they look up, and I would say the reactions are mixed, as Tashira just kind of blinks. Arya gives a wide grin, and Cadence gives that kind of just innocent, like, blink, blink.
Right. Might as well get this out of the way. So I'm not quite sure how much you've heard, but given the light of things, I felt compelled to inform my family of a very recent development.
They look at each other like, oh, we're finally doing this. Tashira speaks up. Of course, Ramil, you can tell us anything.
Right. So I there were some recent changes, and it's been a long time coming.
You hear Arya snark, not that recent.
And I figured I wanted you all to be the first to hear.
Orion squeezes your hand.
And he looks up at him and puts a gentle hand on his arm. And he clears his throat and goes, right. So I'm not quite sure if it's painfully obvious, but I'd like to formally introduce myself. I am Ramiel Indigo Laxhat Lares, son of Azure, son of Melody of the Ivory, the Shear of the Scarlet, and humble member of the Mortal Reminders.
Oh, so we're not talking about that you're gay.
Blinks and goes,
Tashira reaches
Pod-
over and smacks Arya upside the head.
pardon?
Oh, I thought you were introducing us to your boyfriend.
Feet red. Okay, so apparently this has been very obvious to a lot of people. How long has, how many people know?
Tashira gives a very sympathetic look. Honey, do you remember when we put on that stage performance at the orphanage and you came back crying because they wouldn't let you be the lead costume designer and do makeup? We've known for a minute.
Well, of course I would cry about that. Have you seen how atrocious Henrietta looked upstage? I would have done a better job. Her eyeliner was simply, oh god, it was dreadful. And the blue that they picked out for her dress, definitely not the right color for her complexion.
Okay, so
It still remains one of the biggest regrets of my life.
what a charmed life you've led. But yes, no, we've known for a moment. So there's a little bit to unpack there. First of all, very nice to meet you. I'm sorry, my son's a moron. Orion, right? And he nods. General, yes. I'm sorry. You're the general, of course. I'm not a general. Yes. Orion Moraine. Nice to meet you. You've never seen Orion flustered before, but he is very flustered right now. And Cadence looks over and she raises her hand like she has a question and she's in class. And Tashira's like, you don't have to raise your hand when we're just at the dinner table, but go ahead and ask a question. You can date a boy if you're a boy?
Aren't there
Yeah.
moms?
around?
Aren't there moms girls?
Yes, they are.
Okay, I just
Yeah.
okay. All right.
To be
that's fine.
fair,
Yes.
there's no boys involved in any of that.
Yes, you can. Cadence, you can date whoever you like.
So long as you like each other, yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Hmm.
Provided that both people are, both people can consent.
Is this the one that you said turned into a pigeon? And Cadence gets this big excited look on her face. Oh yeah, Herb. Oh,
That's
And-
you.
Tashira looks over immediately like, what? I mean, I don't know who Herb is. I've never heard of
Riley's
pigeons.
staring.
I don't even know
down
what a
at
pigeon
her.
is.
Pigeon before?
I don't even know what a pigeon is. Would you lie to your mother to her face,
Yes.
knowing that she might go to war at any minute?
Oh God. Oh no. Come on. Oh, come on.
Listen, she's a single mom dealing with this. She's doing her best. Cadence,
We're going.
Cadence rolls her eyes. No. Okay, I might have turned into a pigeon a few times. We'll talk about that later. What
Is my shoulder comfy?
do you mean you turned into, wait, you turned into a pigeon named Herb? Yeah, he has a boyfriend. Well, originally he had a wife, but now I've decided he has a boyfriend because now I know you can do that. So now he has a boyfriend.
Is she making fan fiction for Romy?
She writes backstories for
with that?
She writes backstories for all of her animals that she turns into.
That
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I love it. Oh
Um,
God.
mhm.
All right. Perp has a boyfriend. Sorry, Brayley.
Herb does have a boyfriend.
Where's the boyfriend pigeon? Is this a real?
Can I eat this one?
Herb would be very sad if you did.
Well, Herb is his girl, so Braylee's still pissed about not being able to eat her.
I know, it's tough.
Frankly, I'm still quite
But,
insulted that you decided to prefer Nova over your big brother.
It's not that I preferred Nova. Her shoulder was just lower to the ground.
Uh-huh.
Of course.
Also, I was worried you'd recognize me.
Well, I had a thought, but...
Tashira raises her hand. Where exactly would she have recognized you? They've been gone for a while. Cadence just looks up for a moment. I don't feel too good. I have to go, and she hurries out of the room.
If you must know, I did spot, Herb, before and after we arrived in Midras Galeth. And supposedly, he was owned by Cadence.
She looks like she's gonna be sick. Oh.
Yeah.
That one takes after your mom to a disturbing degree. And I am very tired.
Well, Mommy, if it's any consolation, I think you're doing a bang-up job.
Thanks.
And you don't have to do this alone anymore. You have us.
Oh. She looks at Orion. Welcome to this mess. Yeah. Sorry, I'm Tashira. Please sit down. Sit down. Let's meet you, dear. And he poor Tashira aged like a decade. She definitely has. He nods. Well, thank you kindly. If it helps, I'm sure she's quite safe as a pigeon. Well, when Brayley's not around. Yeah, she nods. I'm gonna have to have another talk about her other animals that I thought they were stuffed animals, not her. I'm gonna have to really have a talk with her because they're all boys.
Oh no. Oh, okay. Well,
Brombiel's eyebrows just go up. Are they now?
Yeah.
They'll turn out as tasty looking as Herb was, because that'd be a problem.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Maybe
I'm gonna have to think of a
maybe we-
musically themed boy's name.
I think
Maybe
Cadence could
we,
still work.
maybe we
Maybe Caden.
let. No, 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 no.
Too close to Canaan.
Well, Canis is the name that you're worried
Canis,
about. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, definitely no.
Sorry. So Orion, where are you from? Oh, I come from a small village near Mitra Centauran. Grew up with the Diaceneals, you can probably tell. And she nods. Well, welcome. Have you and Ramiel been together long? He looks at you.
Or at all.
Officially, maybe for the past 2 days, but we've known each other for however long it's been since the start of the campaign.
Very well.
He's quite a delightful man.
I see. And what do you you serve in the military? What is your specialty? And he nods. Well, I do fancy myself quite a baker, and I'm pretty good at knitting. But oh, you mean in the army? I'm sorry. I'm an artificer. And Arya snirks at that. And Sheer just raises her eyebrows. An artificer? You must be quite well read then. And he shakes his head. Not really. I don't do so well with books. And she just takes a moment to process whatever the hell that means. Well, it is wonderful to meet you, Orion. Please eat your fill and welcome. I'd love for you to get to meet Melody, but well, I don't know where she is, so you know.
And Bromwell puts a hand on Tashir's shoulder. We'll find her.
Yeah, we will. And man, am I gonna smack her upside the head when I see her.
Oh.
Sorry, this is no way for you to be meeting me or seeing me. And she, like, you see her do, like, the drama, like, and get a hold of herself. So then, Orion, are you taking part in Operation Sword Crown? And he nods. Yes, ma'am. I am the commander of the Second Chances, a division serving under Commander Alspeth, and I'm very much looking forward to doing our part. And she nods. You don't have to be proper. We're off duty right now, but good to know that you'll be there and fighting alongside us. You look quite capable. And he nods. Well, I don't like to brag, but I'm very strong.
He is part giant.
Part giant. Yes, my ancestors come from the Dragon Scale Mountains. That's not the name of that place. But I don't remember what those mountains are called, so my apologies.
We'll
the
just pretend the right one was said.
Yeah, the mountains to the west of Mitra Centauran. But my ancestors were giants from there. Well, one on one side, of course. And a few generations back, my mom got very bold, or on my mother's side got very bold, and yeah, I'm actually the smallest of my family. And Arya chokes on her drink at that. Do you have any brothers?
Oh, that's
We
a
all
sore
asked
spot.
ourselves that.
Not anymore, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna. You know what? If you'll excuse me, I'm gonna go to the powder room and try and get my foot out of my mouth.
It happens.
Hey, yeah, that's a topic for another day. Soaring Mountains is apparently for
Yes, the Soren Mountains. That's correct. Well, Asuka glances over between Ayla and Nova, who are flanking her now.
Yep. I've been explaining the Brayley Calcifer story.
Someone should write this down. This book would sell 1 million copies.
Yeah, if I can get the rights to it.
Lusty elven maid.
Honestly, I think he's the lusty one in the situation.
Have you seen her abs?
Yes, but
You
I'm
could
just...
grind meat on those.
I'm aware. I'm just saying.
You could slather so much butter on those abs.
But good that you are out of a jail cell.
Oh.
It is for your protection.
Yes, well, I know we're going to war, but there will be some benefits to being in a different city and on a different part of the continent.
Indeed. I will miss that jail cell and its squeaky doors.
I'll miss the chains.
Bars were a plus, actually.
I like the guard that was squeaking as well.
Yep.
Just a lot of sexual innuendo back and
Yeah, I can sense a theme with these three.
Unless someone else wants to change it, but that's just
No, you're
where
fine.
Nova's
That's basically what she's talking about tonight. She is on that until Cheyenne walks over and then she stops.
Yeah. Nova knows enough to stop.
Cheyenne walks over and just kind of sits down next to you, Ayla. Okay. So I talked with my mom about getting wings when I get to choose my body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really into it. Can you tell me are there any downsides to your wings? Like, there anything I should make sure they can do?
Make them collapsible.
Collapsible wings. Yes.
Small spaces with these, not a great time.
Right. And then I can make them shoot out really fast.
She knocks everything over. It's hilarious, but it's a lot.
Okay.
Lots of broken cups,
All right. I
including
like
my
that.
favorite mug. You haven't paid me back for that
I
one.
was I'm sorry, did you say when you get your body? Yeah, I'm a Dia Asanil. We get to choose our bodies when we turn 25. That's pretty cool.
It's a Terrason thing.
That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Only for them, not the rest of us from there.
No, it's just these elves.
Oh, right. The machine elves. I've heard talk of you. She looks up and she's like, that's our word. We use Dia Asan. You can say Dia Asanil. And Asuka blushes a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just messing with you. She looks she gives this look I just got played by an 8-year-old.
Tap, tap, pat the shoulder.
Does this help if she's the smartest 8-year-old I've ever met?
It's true.
It does help, actually. And she nods. I'm the smartest 8-year-old anywhere.
She's also very humble.
I'm not.
Damn.
But I don't need to be.
I tease.
Why be humble when you can be great?
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't lack for confidence.
No, certainly not.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to say thank you to you and to Layla and to Ramiel. I took your advice, and I decided to apply myself, and I asked if I could test out of all the rest of my courses for the next couple of years before we left.
And?
Oh, I passed them all.
That's good.
So, yeah, I graduated.
From what?
College.
Oh.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. I do want to eventually go to Terracin and attend their college in Stone's Throw because it's a better college. But don't tell anyone from Mitra Glorianda that I said that. They would be really upset. but they do a lot more with mechanics, and the elves on Mitra Glorianda are still kind of about it, even though like their entire way of life depends on it. So anyway, I want to go to Terracing College, and I'm also going to graduate from there, but I only want to spend a couple months doing that because that would take, like, I can't waste 3 years of my life in college anymore. I've got things I have to do.
Right. You have many things you must accomplish before
Before I die.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
I only get like 100 some years to do this.
Feel
Right.
behind.
What'd she say?
Yeah,
I feel
I-
behind in life.
I think Ayla just looks at Oscar and Nova. Do you ever feel like you've wasted your life all of a sudden?
Oh, all the time.
Especially
Constantly.
when you meet such a young prodigy.
I mean, it's okay. Like, you weren't born like this. Like, some people are born with certain gifts and they have more responsibilities put on them. You have to live up to what you're born with. You were born with average intelligence. It's not bad, it's just you were. But you're also better at me than other things. Like, well, I don't know what, but I'm sure there are things.
That is far less reassuring than you hoped it would be.
Oh. Well, you're probably better at assuring people about things.
You know you
I
think
got abs
so.
overnight.
See, that's cool. I can't get abs overnight.
No, you
Not
can't.
yet.
Technically you can once.
Huh?
I've got to... Maybe I can develop a way. Anyway, you're right. No, I can't do that. See, that's something. And Nova, you...
I want.
You look great.
You
You're
changed your
killing
hair
it
since
at
I saw
sitting in
you.
that seat.
I did change my hair. Thank you for noticing.
You look great.
Why, thank you.
Yeah. And Ayla, you do the blood thing.
Listen, my dear. You do not need to reassure the adults at the table.
Are you sure? Because it seems like I do.
Listen. I just approach closer.
Ah,
You all seem really unsure of yourselves and very insecure about a lot of things.
Well,
And I can't help but feel like that, like most adults, you're just kind of faking it and hoping it works out.
then you are learning quite fast, and that is important. But we also have to
Can I
learn
help you?
how to explain these things that we know in our heads.
Okay.
So, not everything can be said immediately out loud to people.
Why?
Well, because not everyone can handle it at the same rate that you can.
So that's my fault?
It's not a fault, but if you want to communicate effectively with people, you have to learn how to communicate effectively. Think of it like a
If they can't understand me, I don't want to communicate with them.
Let me try this a different way. Do you like being around people?
Sometimes.
Do you like having friends?
I don't have any friends.
Do you want friends?
I've never had a friend. Do I want friends?
Well, it depends. Do you want to know people other than your mother's?
Do I need to know people other than my mother's?
Well, you said you wanted to go to Terracin.
Right.
Who are you going to meet in Terracin?
Professors, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. And who else?
The person I buy my tinkering shop from?
I also expect other students, yes?
Why would I want to meet other students?
Because while you have a smart brain and you have learned very, very fast, you're going to find that lots of people also have different ways to stretch their creativity. And the more that you are able to engage with these people, that will make it even better for you to do the things that you want to do. What is it that you want to create?
Oh, well,
One
you...
thing.
Oh. She starts putting the list away.
Pick one thing and tell me.
Well, one of the big things that I want to work on is I know they're working on that big like terraforming Terracin or Alcana project up north.
Mhm.
They're doing it very slowly. There are better ways to approach this, so I really want to work on something to help with that
Okay, but why?
because they're taking too long.
Why does that matter?
Because they could do it better.
Why do you care what they do if you don't care about people?
It's an affront to
What
how to put it, how to say this. Are you a good painter?
I am a decent musician.
Okay, so you're a decent musician. Does it annoy you when you walk in and hear a bunch of kindergartners just blowing into a recorder?
Only if I am well, it depends. If they want to learn to do better, I will teach them. But
right.
if they are also simply at a stage where that is the best they can do and they will learn more from there, then that does not bother me. Other people in a learning state doesn't bother me. What I'm trying to get at is you care about how people are doing things and you need to work with people in order to reach your goal, right?
I mean, I need people to listen to me.
You do need people to listen to you, that's right.
Right.
And what do you need to learn to do if you want people to listen to you?
She seems genuinely stumped on this one.
Ayla, is this a trick question?
Talk to them
Yeah.
and hit them with something heavy when they don't?
No, you need to learn to communicate, dear.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
Is there a book on that?
Well, there's a couple books on that.
Excellent.
But how do you learn to get good at anything with your hands?
Well, I would practice it and just
You practice it. That's right. You have to
I see what you're saying.
You have to practice communicating with people.
So that's how I can make people do what I want?
Well, potentially, but we'll maybe get to empathy when you're a little older. You might be too young to understand empathy. Your brain maybe have not developed the empathy circuits yet.
My brain is fully developed, thank you very much.
The empathy circuits, though, they need developing.
Okay, brains don't have circuits.
Okay, well, the analogy still stands, does it not?
I guess.
I pat her head. And that is how a high charisma character convinces a high-end character to learn people's skills.
Listen, my girl has a 22 intelligence.
Yeah, I know she does.
And a 6 charisma.
And that
so
girl's gonna burn out without any friends. So
that's true. She is definitely the gifted child
She's a
trademark.
She's going to hit the gifted wall is what's
boom!
gonna happen there.
Exactly. But she's not ready to face that yet. So Nova's trying to teach her that you need friends.
Sounds like a lot of work and a lot of time being taken away from her being the greatest to ever live.
Yep.
Just take this for an example. Would you think that Ramiel would have a lot of people around him if he didn't learn how to fucking talk or not to talk?
Ramiel, I don't want to sound mean, but I know this is gonna sound mean. You're not what I'm looking to emulate.
Good. I'm not the greatest example of that.
Who are you?
What am I being an example for?
Kelsey.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough.
My mom.
And guess what your mom had to learn?
She genuinely pauses for a minute. Well, according to her stories, learn to deal with your parents leaving.
Well, there's that. And why don't you ask your other mother what she had to learn?
Yeah. Yeah. Mother has different takes on it.
I'm sure she does. All right.
She only tells me them when mom's not around.
I'm sorry.
No, I think it's for mom's benefit.
Okay.
Anyway, that's how Cheyenne's doing. She's a lot.
Yeah, in
Yeah. No, she is.
In 5 years, we're gonna have to check on her.
She is truly brilliant in a way that few else are.
Yep.
But yeah, she does not have a ton in the way of empathy. She is either going to, like you say, burn out and go that route, or she's going to figure out how to make some friends and probably do okay, or she's a future villain in the making when she puts that mind to terrible use.
Yep.
It's one of the three.
Yeah. Well, Nova tried.
Yep.
Nova tried.
So,
Sorry for that impromptu child therapy session.
I liked it. Commander Alspeth glances over as Cheyenne leaves. Well, that one's charming.
Eh. We all have our skills, yes?
Yep, we sure do. I certainly wouldn't want her doing R&D for our enemies.
Truly.
Yeah.
Well, let's tell their mothers to get together.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you all handle that. Actually, no, you're all official representatives. Please do not say that to a diplomat from a foreign country.
My lips are sealed, Capitan.
It's Commander.
Commodore. My apologies.
I'm not a Commodore. I'm a Commander.
Commander.
Commodore's a naval. Anyway, that's the point. I hoped I might actually be able to borrow you all in the morning. Our intelligence has arrived on the current state of affairs near our landing site, and I now know what our tasks for the invasion will be.
Very well.
Excellent. We will be setting out in 2 days' time.
All right. It is happening.
It is. And, well, I'm quite confident in our ability to make our landing successfully. Where it goes from there, I suppose will be up to us. Nova,
Yeah.
your sword rattles a little bit, as if it's reacting.
Aruna, what's going on?
Apologies. There is something strange about your commander.
Strange in what way?
I don't know. There is... You can tell there's like discomfort in her voice as she's trying to put together the words for it. I have noticed it before when you have spoken with her, but never as strongly as now. There is something else with her.
A presence in her?
Yes. Not like us, but something is there.
Would I look into such a thing?
I'm not certain that you can, Sherry, but be aware of it. Something is attached to her.
Very well.
I do not sense that it is malevolent necessarily, but it is there.
Well, I'm glad it's not malevolent.
It may be masking its intentions. I'm not to suggest that it is safe, but
Fair enough.
it is not. If it is malevolent, it is not making itself known.
Very well. I'll just smile at the commander. Will it just be the 5 of us that will be meeting with you in the morning?
You are my lieutenants, so yes.
Very good.
Excellent. Then I will see you all 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And she stands up. If you'll excuse me, I am going to have my meal in my room, I think. This is a little lively for my tastes.
Of course.
And she takes her plate and a goblet of wine with her and departs.
Once she's gone, I am signaling to the group of like,
Ramiel, dear, your Nova is calling.
My what?
Nova is calling for you, darling.
Oh well. I'm sure this won't take long. And he's gonna get up.
He
Turn.
definitely gives that look of like, oh, you're leaving me here. Oh, okay.
He's gonna get up, turn, pause, turn back, plants a kiss on his cheek, and then briskly walk over to Nova.
The moment you leave, Arya slides down in next to him. So we should talk. But yeah, you're all kind of summoned over. Brayley, you make your way over as well, and yeah, go ahead, Nova.
I don't have a good explanation for this, but Aruna is sensing another presence within the commander. She doesn't believe it's malevolent, but she doesn't really know what it is either.
Presence like
Some
herself?
No, another presence within her. Not like Aruna, supposedly, but something else. I don't really
Something
know.
Different.
Indeed.
Hmm.
Like she's
She's haunted.
I think Ayla just kind of 1,000 yards. Are we ever going to find something that's not haunted? Moon's haunted. Mitra's, not Mitra Primus.
Glorianda.
Mitra Glorianda's haunted. Alcana's haunted. Commander's haunted.
Am I haunted?
I don't think she's haunted necessarily. I think she's kind of like you, Nova. I think she made a deal with something
you
greater than
talking
herself.
as?
Sorry, I was talking as Van Richten.
I
right
thought
there.
I thought you were Orion, and I was like,
actually,
actually, you sound like that one.
damn, Ryan,
Too
you
many
sound
accents.
super fucking intellectual there.
Too many
sound-
accents.
You sounded like that one character in 8 that you sometimes speak as.
Oh, Irvine. Oh, that's what I based
Yeah.
Van Richten's accent off of.
I'm not gonna complain if
Yeah,
Van Richten shows up
haunted.
to help us.
Yeah. I mean, given how many things are haunted, he'd probably be very helpful.
Was that Aruna then?
That was Aruna, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it does not strike me as like he is haunted. It is, or it's like she strikes me as being like you, Nova. Like she made a deal with something for power.
Oh. Well, she'll look at all of you. I believe she takes her power in by some kind of other being that she made a deal with, perhaps. Somewhat like how Aruna powers this sword,
But not like a room.
but not like
a different type of being.
Right.
How did you make that more ominous than she's haunted?
I'm
How did you somehow make that worse?
I'm sorry, I'm trying to make things clearer, but it's not helping.
should we be worried?
I don't think so, but I think we should just simply be, watchful.
Doesn't she
Okay.
usually eat with us?
Well, she didn't now. She just went upstairs to her room.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I
It's
do
weird.
find myself in agreement with Nova that, barring any other information, we just observe.
I'll take a look at the sword she wields. That might give me some more information. Apparently, my sword detects other swords that have beings in them, perhaps. I do not know for sure.
It isn't that the sword. It was Aruna was getting your attention.
Sword radar.
Okay. Fair enough. I know what the sword was. Yeah. Fair enough.
Swordar.
But yes, I mean, I could try to sneak out to her room and eavesdrop at the door, but that may cause more problems if she finds out.
Would this be a concern that we can bring up to General Tashira?
I don't know. I'd
I
have to
don't know if you've noticed, but she's quite got a lot of on her plate right now.
I really cannot tell you exactly how urgent this is, just simply that Aruna noticed it and brought it to my attention. I think that we just simply need to see. I think we just simply need to be aware that she has power that comes from elsewhere, and, well, perhaps be on the lookout. She seems to still want to do the plans. I don't think she's going to backstab us. This is a long con game, and I would know. I tried to play one.
If you wanted to, though, you could ask Tashira about, what they know about Commander Alspeth. They are their commanding officer.
We could do that. Maybe she would know more. Can kind of keep it on the down low if you'd like to do that, Ramiel.
Of course.
But that is all I can think of at the moment.
And Ramiel's gonna glance over to the table. How's Orion looking?
You know what? He's doing pretty good, actually. He seems to be fitting in nicely with the family. Cadence has since returned and is asking him a bunch of questions. She seems to like him a lot.
Well, if nothing else, at the very least, they like him.
He makes good impressions on people.
That he does.
But yes, if you hear anything from your mother, let us know.
I would. And but I wish there was some way to instantaneously communicate these things.
Like a sending spell almost.
Oh, I used to have the sending spell, but I seem to have conveniently forgotten how to cast it.
Mm.
I used to also know prestidigitation and detect thoughts, but all gone now.
No, I still know one of those things. It's the Presti.
That's all right. Now I have advantage on saves.
I do have access to such a thing myself.
Prestidigitation.
No, sending, sorry.
Oh. Oh, well then, if nothing else, Layla can serve as our central point of communication.
Something of a messenger. Although it is currently quite draining. I could only do so about 3 times a day.
Are we talking about trying to talk to other people, or what are we?
I think amidst us, within our circle.
Within ourselves. Well, we should learn messaging, actually.
Don't think
Or
that's
perhaps see about getting something
something
some
more
sort of
accessible.
item to facilitate it.
Yeah.
We could look into that.
We could talk
Because
to
again,
Kelsey
I can
about
only
that.
do so many times a day, and also that energy is something I could be putting to other uses instead.
We could talk to Commander Raynor about seeing if she has something in her in her field of expertise.
You could.
That's true. That's very true.
She is just a table over. She is currently insisting that Cheyenne eat the food that is on her plate, and Cheyenne is telling her that some of it is not necessary for her nutritional needs. And Kelsey is actually able to convince her to do so because their minds are disturbingly similar.
Well, with that said, I would like to enjoy a little bit more of this, and Ramiel kind of like gestures to like the general vibe of the hall.
Of course.
It is a lovely night. Everyone enjoys their food and drinks. Brayley, afterwards, you meet up with
Oh, shit, I
Calcifer.
wanted- Okay, that's fine.
Oh, sorry. If you had something else you wanted to do.
If Brayley doesn't want to, we don't have to.
No, it's fine. You can talk.
Oh, okay. Sorry, it's okay. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Nova would have just come to you, Brayley, before you had your walk.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick. Listen, I want you to enjoy your walk. I know after the talk with Aruna, there was a lot of processing involved with all of that. I just wanted to know if you had any questions and concerns. I didn't want that to cloud anything for you.
I guess it's like how separate were you in Aruna? Like it's kind of hard to like there are just things about you and then the things that came up with Aruna that and then things, there's some confusion.
Yes, this is new to us, and we don't really fully know everything ourselves. Aruna has no longer has a physical presence, at least right now, on this world. So, she and I are linked. There's nothing about that. We are not apart, it turns out, anymore, since we ever made our connection with each other. It's almost like a conjoined twin situation from how it feels to me. She speaks to me, I can speak to her, we can bicker, we can, discuss, we are going in the same direction in things. What she wants and what I want now are more united than it used to be. But I am physically on this plane of existence. She is, unfortunately, lives only in the dreams.
But you okay. So when it comes to the bed dancing in the dreams, that was just all Aruna. Like, that's just 100%.
I know it was partially her desires and needs. I know also I was locking myself away from what I desired and need. So, while she...
You hear in your head, Nova. Tell her, Sherry, what could possibly go wrong?
Aruna went for Ayla and for you, Brayley, I think partially because she was aware of how I was denying closeness that I had felt for Ayla and for you. But that doesn't have to be a mutual thing.
Oh, but you and Ayla, you've bed danced for quite a bit, right? Like,
Technically, I physically was only done it once so far. Mostly about tonight. So the other times were Aruna being me. So we are taking things slow. She's being very, I think she herself needs freedom and not to be tied down, and I need time.
because you're just figuring out what you want.
Something like that.
Like, well, who you are and who you want to be. And I get that. I feel like we're all kind of changing.
That's true.
Like, look at, like,
I
we are all changing.
Yes, Brayley, I see the abs. We all see the abs.
We can all see them. Please put your shirt back on.
No, please do not.
Just to know, we've all have noticed, like Braylee, like zeroed in on everyone else's apps, and now she's got them. She's like, hey,
Hey now.
Hey, check 'em.
It's like, hey, I'm part of the ab club. What's up?
yeah.
We are. So, I don't know. What are you figuring out?
I've never been on a date. No one's ever asked me. I don't know if the thing with the Runa counted as a date.
It did not.
Runa said it did not. Are you hoping to... Well, you will have this date with Calcifer.
Yeah, I'm definitely having urges. I'm trying to figure that out. But I've never been on a date before, so I should do that before
Oh, honey, you were on a date today?
Well, we
Oh,
did-
that was a date.
I mean, we did sort of leave you two alone in hopes, but
Technically a date.
you deserve to be happy with someone who can give you that, or someone's. What Ayla and I have is, we are figuring out what we are together, and then there's also Aska, and, it's not limited in that way, but,
And we're about to go to war and
right. The urges get higher.
yeah.
Are you... I mean, I guess I'm just trying to figure out what, I mean, I told you exactly kind of where I am at and what I'm figuring out and what I know, but
Mm-hmm.
whatever it is that you want or need, I will oblige.
Okay. I definitely feel like it'd be nice to be courted. And it'd also be nice to enact on all these other urges, but I don't know. I think I also want the freedom to decide all that as it comes.
Of course. You get to have that freedom. It's your life and your body. But, you gotta go for it, I think. That's all I'm saying. If you...
I don't know what the rules are. Never really I see what Ram Ram's doing, and I'm not really sure that. I don't think that's what I
Oh, they make
I
up
don't
the
think it's a
rules as they
standard.
go.
the rules are whatever you want it to be. So, if you want to see your journey with Calcifer and just with Calcifer, you are so free to do that. There is nothing wrong with that. If
Oh,
you...
but I hope it is not
Are you
just that.
are you saying we could all date?
Oh my god, yes.
Aruna! I have no idea how Calcifer will feel, but
Yeah,
If
no
you-
rules.
you're right. No rule. Still, we have to know how people are feeling. But if you are asking,
Don't you dare ruin this for me, Nova.
if you want to go on a date with myself and Aruna, that is a possibility. If you want to go on a date with myself and Aruna and Ayla, that is also a possibility. If you want to go on a date with Calcifer, you have it. You got it. If you want to go on a date
Oh wow,
with...
so many options.
And you can say yes and no to as many as you wish. I only say Aruna and myself because if you're going on a date with me, Aruna is included. There's no real way around it.
Damn right.
Yes, Aruna. She's mad at me. She's mad at me because I'm not making this clear enough. But that I make it as clear as possible now. So,
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with my friends and my other half.
Pretty bad.
ancient Onaroxy song.
Oh god. So yes, if that is what you are saying, you say the word to me, or whoever, and it will happen.
Okay, I guess I have some stuff to think about.
And you just tell me when you're ready. I will not push anything upon you, unless it is what you wish. Yes, Aruda, unless she wishes to be pushed. I know what you're thinking! Sorry.
Oh, that is interesting. You now can tell what I am thinking, too.
Mhm.
Was this whole journey just one big date?
Apple, sometimes it feels that way. It's the butterfly meme. Is this dating? Callie's D&D campaign.
You know what? Sometimes it certainly feels that way. But
Sometimes you just gotta have fake makeout with your friends, you know?
Sometimes.
I know
Sometimes.
have all the socks on, you know, it's not gonna be
So,
Anyway, did you have any other questions
What?
for me? Otherwise, I'm gonna.
I think we're good.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Ayla and now be like, I need to not think about how I put my foot in my mouth. Help me.
so you presumably will explain all that to Ayla. Brayley, as you go to meet with Kelsifer, he has a gift for you. Nothing.
Another gift?
It's nothing extravagant. In fact, it's very corny. However, there's a very, very old tradition among elves that when you are expressing interest in courting someone, you make them a bracelet of woven flowers and branches. And he has made that for you.
Oh, did Brayley know?
Hell
She
yeah.
knew of this.
You would know of this tradition. It's old. Like, this is something like your grandmother told you that your grandfather did this for her, and your parents kind of rolled their eyes. Like,
Is this something that's like universal across all elves?
yes, this would be a well-known tradition among elves. It's said to come from Mitra Glorianda, which it absolutely does. And it's just one of those traditions that has survived the test of time. So,
Neither
yes.
man.
He has crafted a bracelet of woven branches, grasses, and flowers. And it is meant to symbolize, just as the branch is not everlasting and it will change, it is meant to more explore kind of these feelings and maybe a change in your relationship. That is what it's supposed to symbolize.
Oh, wow.
I apologize. I'm not much of a weaver. My mother used to tell me that if I didn't get better at this, well, you know, it doesn't matter what my mom said. I shouldn't bring her up on a date. Shall we go?
Yeah, we should get foraging before it gets too super dark.
Yes, I think so. So where to? And you presumably would lead him to where mushrooms can be found.
For sure.
How do you think the
Sorry.
date goes in your mind?
In Brayley's mind.
In you as the player, what happens on this date?
Oh, they're gonna find some psychedelic mushrooms, and Brayley is gonna get super excited. She's probably
Hell
gonna
yeah.
Are they
nerd
both-
out.
Are they both going to get fucked up?
As a player, I kind of want them to fuck.
Do they?
You can have it happen. Well, you said not to have it first date. I was just being realistic. You can have whatever you want to happen.
Will she let him know what kind of mushrooms have been found? Or will she absolutely just
I
dose
don't want him to be dosed and
Yeah.
then they smooch. I kind of don't want that situation.
I think
Rayleigh wants
Okay,
to find
good.
arthritic
Avoid them
mushrooms.
red
If you
flags.
get what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think you grab
Save
the
them for later.
you get the mushrooms and save them for later. And you mention going to war and you two share a kiss.
Kiss our tongue.
That I will leave up to you.
You know what, Brayley? Braley
He
learned
is
some
not-
things from Aruna. She liked what was happening, so she's gonna.
He is not unskilled. If you
Oh.
part your lips, he knows what to do.
Yep.
He been married.
He's been,
He was married
Yep.
to a woman.
he knows. So yeah. And you two, yeah. So you don't just have your first kiss, you have your first makeout session.
Sick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's not a dream.
Dolvik says, I absolutely love Apple discovering what a Cali campaign is like. So we all have to learn. In the morning.
Wait.
Sorry. You wanted to ask Tashira about Commander Alspeth, right?
Yes, and as everyone is dispersing, I would like to have a moment with Orion.
Sure. Let's have you grab Commander Elspeth or Shira first and ask. So she, as you kind of pull her aside and ask her a little bit about Commander Elspeth, she kind of nods. Sure. Is there anything in particular you want to know about the commander?
Probably primarily how she came about to such a prestigious position. I was led to believe that we were both witnesses to the raising of Moon Bay, and
You were. She was a paladin to the Twilight Lady, or the Twilight God, to Penumbra. Yeah, Penumbra, the Twilight Goddess. And she was trained by a woman named Morena. They had begun to travel the world together in service to Twilight God, which is, of course, very different when that goddess no longer exists. And there were some difficulties with that, but they seemed to get on well enough. The Whispers, your mother in particular, always kind of kept tabs on the commander. Something about their trip to the future. I don't quite know all the details of it myself. I know something eventually went very wrong. And when she came back, she was kind of broken. Marina was gone, and she would never talk about what happened. And from then on, she threw herself in as a mercenary, and your mother continued to keep tabs on her and check in with her every now and then. And eventually, I needed some capable officers to start working in the Crown, and I approached her about serving as an officer from us, and she's been nothing but an ideal candidate. Enough so that I've entrusted my daughter under her command. And my son, as it were.
Have you ever felt have there ever been times where you felt like she's gone to a place where you no longer reach her? Not physically, but
I think she carries a lot of baggage with her, like many of us do from that era. She is troubled in a lot of ways, but at one time, she was a promising paladin, and though she no longer really sticks to those ideals or to that way anymore, she has always been reliable, if nothing else.
no, I don't mean to sound disrespectful of my commanding officer, but I trust the words of my companions.
As well you should. if you are uncomfortable with following the commander, I could have you
No.
reassigned.
No, it's not about that. I don't doubt her legitimacy or her desire to end this war as much as the rest of us. But I think it would warrant peace of mind if more eyes were set on her, or specifically what she does when no one is around.
Well, I'm not one to typically spy on my own commanders, but I understand what you're saying. I will take it under advisement, and I will see if I can learn anything. I think that Martine was once like her. I'll reach out and see if he has any advice.
Thank you.
Of course. And you are able to also grab Orion before the night's out. Wouldn't have been hard. He's going with you.
We're actually gonna go down to the crack scale. That's what we're gonna do.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
see.
Were we not at the crack? I guess we weren't.
No,
were
you
we?
were at Fort Overlook.
Yeah,
Fair enough,
for it.
fair enough.
So you head on down to the crack scale for, I presume, a night together?
Mm-hmm. And he's gonna preface it with a very amused smile. Never seen you that flustered before.
Shut up.
I don't know. It was kind of refreshing.
Yeah, well, listen, meeting my family is easy.
Well, they seem to like you quite enough.
Your youngest sister is quite something.
She is, isn't she?
I think she also might be your youngest brother.
I figured, but you
Yeah.
know, we'll let them have that journey.
Yeah, they can
It's-
let us know that.
Just as they decided to wait for my apparent announcement.
You really never told them.
I wasn't even aware until, well, Misty.
Aha. Well, you should tell Misty that. I think they would love to hear that they were the reason you realized you were gay. That would definitely, I think, that would warm their cobbler.
Well, I did. During the reunion, as it were.
Ah. Well, that's very good. Now then, you lured me into an ambush, so I'm well,
Oh no, big boy. And he's going to push him into the room.
oh, I see. Okay. You two.
You had your way with me. And it was pleasant.
Ramiel's a switch.
Now
Switches
I'd
are
like
more
to see
fun to
what
play.
kind of faces you make.
Oh,
Oh,
he's
boy.
surf top, yeah. Fair enough. Well, that will fade to black then.
Oh yeah.
Ram.
It is going to be a very, very long night. Orion.
Ram is gonna be doing the Ram this time, not getting rammed.
The
Yes.
the next day, you all make your way up to your commander's office, and indeed there is a new map on the wall, or at least an updated map, and I'm going to actually jump over to the combat screen so that everyone here can see it as well.
Yeah,
Uh,
fancy stuff.
Indeed, we now have a much more detailed layout of the terrain around where you are all planning on landing, and Commander Alspeth explains that for the landing to be considered a success and to allow you to begin moving troops and having a supply line, you have to claim Fort Red Rock, the city of High Wall itself, and Fort West Road that flank it on either side, and that it will be up to you and her to determine how to divide up the army, because the best way would be to attack all three at once and not let them get word out to each other that they need to shore up their defenses. So the goal will be to do that. In doing so, for the first time, the Children of the Deep will be declaring war on Argenti's dominion, which has not been the case before this moment, but that will be after this. But you got to take the cities, and they are admittedly only tacitly defended by Argenti's dominion, who really doesn't seem to care too much about claiming other land. So you don't know what kind of defense you'll get out of them. But you are provided with the various details, and we'll go over those in the off week or in the week here, so that you can decide how you want to do that. No need to. I would just be literally reading off a bunch of numbers, so I'll let you all take a look at it, and we'll decide it before next session.
You got it.
And she nods and smiles at you all. You've all done very good work to get us this far and get us ready for this. I feel much more confident having you with us.
We're simply doing the best we can, although we do appreciate your confidence in us.
But of course, you have earned it. It is not something I give out lightly. I will have great need of you in the battles to come, especially when making the landing is only the first phase of the operation. We need to conquer the Eye by the time winter rolls around, so we can dig in. And then next spring, we'll begin the campaign to take Ivory Solitude and the Morning Peak.
That is true. And we will need to make
Not the
this
road
efficient.
ahead of us.
Need to make this efficient.
Indeed.
Has there been no words about finding Melody of the Ivory?
Unfortunately not. The last reports that we saw was that she was at the Morning Peak, which is, needless to say, the base of operations for the Draconic Legion. I don't know what she is meaning to attempt there, but we do know she is alive. She has stopped responding to our sending spells. So, I don't know what that means.
Has anyone attempted a scry?
We have. It is seemingly blocked wherever she is.
Well, blocked is better than the alternative.
That is our thoughts exactly. No sense in blocking
Yeah.
it if she's already perished.
That does suggest...
Blocking that might also be
Mildly.
blocking your sending.
Tilly, Nova sent them up towards the jaw. So basically, Nova said that the landing was coming at Verde's Lament, and that they were actually going to be opening a front of the war against the Warden Republic to gain full control over the long jump in this entire sea here. And hearing that, they decided that this would be the perfect time for them to start marching up the jaw towards Eris's cloister, since these forces will have to be divided on both sides of the fangs.
So they won't be there.
Yes. Now, they do own quite a bit of territory in the Eye. As you can see, it is contested territory, because they own Ship Swallow, the Watcher's Fort, Fort Whitewind, and... in that they have contested this. Three Roads is contested between three armies right now. The Warden Republic, who owns Castle Treya. Fort West Road, held by Argenti's Dominion, although only a lesser force. And then the Draconic Legion, who has been actively trying to take over this territory for a while now. But because of some of that'll probably be diverted.
It's fine.
So yes, but she, Captain Alspeth, or Commander Alspeth nods. I wanted to talk to you all. I am going to have to place a great deal of trust in you all, and in doing so, I know that you're all going to have to place a great deal of trust in me. I know that my reputation in this army is not always the most sterling. I started as a mercenary, and my tactics have been seen as brutal in the past. And I won't lie, they are, often. But it is my goal to end this war. I have seen people suffer for too long, and if some brutality is required to bring an end to it, then so be it.
No more moonbays.
Never again. I will never forget the smell of it. And I never
Neither
want
can
to
I.
experience it again.
Very well. Is that all that you mean by us trusting you?
Nova,
Yes,
you're a warlock.
this is true. And so are you, I think.
She nods. I am. A long time ago, I broke my paladin oaths and made a deal with someone for the power that I needed to help. I sense that you must have done something similar.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Sadly, nothing so extravagant, I'm afraid. I was poor.
Oh. Would that my circumstances were so mundane. But they were not. And the strength that I had failed me. I watched Priestess Marina die in my arms. And then I heard the voice for the first time. And they offered me strength and asked only that I use it against those in power. So I did.
Are you comfortable sharing who you spoke to? Do they want to be known?
They don't really speak to me anymore. They haven't in a long time. But they're still there. I can feel them. They've never told me much about themselves, only their name.
Which is-
What moniker did they use?
They call themselves Oublive. And that's where we're going to wrap up for tonight.
Fucking hell!